We're live.
Today, in the depths of Davy Jones' locker, in the podcast stream, listen up, you landlubbers and sea dogs with scurvy. We're pirates today.
Wow, Will. That was really good. I didn't know if you were going to introduce yourself. I'm meant to be Keira Knightley. I request a parlay.
Parlay. Puppet. That's about all I know. Batten down the hatches. Swab the poop deck.
Wow.
It's pirate stuff for
That
you.
is pirate stuff. You're actually very well versed in pirate culture. I would have not.
You know, in an earlier life, I did some pirate things that people wouldn't know about. But, that's okay. We don't have to get into that. Found some buried treasure. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Will Witt. We're joined with Amala, Taylor. Thanks for watching today. You guys know we go live every single day. There's a weekday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Today we have some good stories to you. Every day we break down what's going on in the news, culture, all sorts of stuff, science, history, math, even though math is now racist, but we are making it not. So we appreciate all of you guys tuning in today. So let's get into our first story. First story today is OK Boomer. A socialist e-girl shows her $2 million apartment, says tax the rich only means billionaires. So this girl, Nico Lowell is her name. I remember she had a video that first came out. Some of you guys, if you're on the internet, might have seen it, where she was wearing a Bernie shirt. It was a crop top. She had this skirt on, and she was doing this little, like, tax the rich, like, TikTok dance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I've seen her in that TikTok dance. I just did not recognize her through this story. But
yeah, so she's like a socialist. She says tax the rich. And then just the other day, she showed off her $2 million apartment. This goes to show you hypocrisy when we come to the left. Let's watch a little bit of her video. One sec, Taylor.
Full screen it.
Full screen.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
We're ready.
Hey, I didn't expect you there. Come on in. Hey guys, welcome to my apartment. I told you guys about a month or two ago that I moved into a bigger apartment and I was gonna give you guys a house tour. And I think our apartment's finally like mostly fully furnished, so let's get started. And I think we could start off with the kitchen. I love the kitchen the second most, aside from my office. I have a big old island, which I've never had an island before, so this is really awesome. We have the chairs, so I don't have to actually buy a table to eat on. We have this wine fridge, which I think that's pretty fancy, a wine fridge. We don't have...
Yeah, it's pretty fancy.
You want to be like this girl?
I do not want to be like this girl. In fact, when I saw the first clip of this video, I was irked.
Why were you irked?
I hate when grown women act like little girls.
I do too. Nothing makes me more upset.
I think it's very strange.
Well, it's strange, I guess, the sexualization of it, that you're acting like a child and then people find like a weird sexualization of it. That's strange to me that people like that. I don't know. That seems like something wrong with our culture, that this girl can afford a $2 million apartment.
Yeah,
like that.
And you know how she made her money is people probably men watching her stuff and subscribing to her content.
Yeah, so she's a Twitch streamer as well. I think she plays video games and answers questions and talks to her fans and everything. And then she's like a TikTok girl, TikTok e-girl, does stuff like that. But we wanted to show you this, not just to, hate on this chick, but just to tell you guys about the hypocrisy of so many of the people in power that are on the left. Like, let's look at it in terms of, let's say, climate change. Like someone like Al Gore, who did his whole thing about how the oceans are going to be rising, polar bears are going to die, Mount Kilimanjaro is not going to have any snow on it. And then he buys oceanfront property in Manhattan. Or some of these other people like Bernie Sanders and Obama, they have oceanfront property in Florida, right?
Right.
So it's like, why do we take any of these people seriously who have a platform to say something, which they could be doing, using their platform to say something good or something meaningful, and then are completely hypocritical about all of the things that they say?
It kind of runs into that whole rules for thee, but not for me. And that's exactly what is demonstrated here. So she's making these TikTok videos where she's wearing this tax the rich sweatshirts, which by the way are sold by, a politician, which we all know and dislike, and are sold for about $60. These sweatshirts run. So she's paying an exorbitant amount of money to wear this tax the rich sweatshirt while also making millions and millions of dollars off of the content that she creates. So it's always this position of, I want to tax the rich so long as I'm not involved with that. Or I want to tax the rich because I'm not currently rich. And when I do reach that success, when I do reach that pinnacle of society, when I am an elite, I don't want these rules to apply to me.
This is why there's that quote about young people, like when you're in college and they say, oh, if you're in college, you have no heart if you're under 25 and you're not a liberal, you have no brain if you're above 25 and you're not a conservative.
Right.
Because you get to a point in your life where you have your own money and you're like, this is so dumb. Why am I giving my money to the government to spend it on illegal immigrant health care or whatever else it is? I bet you this girl did her taxes and she looked at it and she was like, this sucks. I don't want to have to do my taxes. I don't want to have to give money to the government. But people are still going to put on this charade that they're on the left. It's like all these big corporations that put on these leftist charades and say, we care about all these different causes. And yeah, we're against racism and all that. But it's like when it comes to the economic issues of like what being a leftist is all about, which is bigger government programs, more taxpayer dollars going to the government. The left is totally, or these leftist corporations and these leftist celebrities are totally against that. They want to keep all their money. Of course they do, and they rightly should. They worked for it, or whatever. But they work for their money. They should rightly be able to have it. And most people, I think, are waking up to that fact for sure.
Right. This very same girl is going to spout all this different leftist ideology of let's take care of the homeless, but not in my community. Let's allow illegal immigration, but not in my community. Let's tax the rich, but I'll use the tax loopholes. Let's defund the police, but I'll have my own private security in my own gated community. That's exactly who these people are. They are hypocrites at their very heart, at their very soul, and yet they will still sit there in front of your face and wear these tax the rich sweatshirts and spout their ridiculous BS.
Let's watch her little video of her dancing with the tax the rich.
Yes, let's see it.
Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah. Whatever you say.
First of all, how did this girl get $2 million?
It's because we live in a capitalist society of which incentivizes this sort of activity and people pay and she makes money off of it. The very society of which she is so fervently against, she is contributing to and benefiting from.
Okay, boomer. Nice boomer take, Amala. That's what I would say. TikTok is a crazy place.
It is.
You can go on there and you can find people who do absolutely nothing, no talent, no anything whatsoever, and they have so much money. It's wild, and so much clout and influence, and get sponsors and like all of this stuff, and they have no talent or anything.
You can also find me on TikTok.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Except no, I don't make any money from it because TikTok is fervently against conservatives making money on their platform.
They banned both of you guys from the Creator Fund, right?
Yeah, so Amala and I can't make any money off TikTok.
But this girl can. She can shake her butt and wear her tax the rich sweatshirts and make all the money in the world.
We should tell him about what we were working on for Dennis. Dennis is coming to shoot a video next week. And while he's in the office, we're going to have Amala sit down with him and show him some viral TikToks and some of like the most successful TikTokers. Right. And it's literally people who like hold a phone in front of their face and like make little faces while song plays. And they mouth the words and they get like tens of millions of views and make millions of dollars, and that's the level of talent that we're dealing with these days.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and I don't want to sound like insecure or something or jealous about these people, like saying like, oh, I don't have what they have. I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm trying to say there are valid problems with our culture on the internet that are breeding people to go for the bare minimum of talent and getting that elevated. And to me, that seems like a bad thing because like super smart people and people with like really knowledgeable things to say who want to help society are getting cast to the wayside because people who are either showcasing their body or doing the bare minimum for views are at the top of every single list.
Right. And it is one of the trade-offs of, being within a capitalist society. They found a competitive market. They cornered that competitive market. And because of that, they make money off of that. But for those very same people to then support these socialist politicians, these socialist ideas, that is where the hypocrisy and that is where the line is drawn. That's where we need to start to talk about these things because great, you function within our free market and you made money off of it. That's great. But don't then use your money and your influence to instate policies of which will help nobody in America.
I haven't been around for that long, 24 very long years, I would say. But I would say that culture, even over that short time that I've been alive, has gotten much worse.
Oh, definitely.
That culture has definitely declined. I think there's a lot of problems with technology and the ease of people to become famous on said technology for sometimes the wrong reasons. And culture has just completely gone downhill in a lot of ways. And I think that's a really scary thing. And I think that conservatives need to be focused on the culture because we are losing in every single sect of American life.
Right.
The universities, the internet culture, history, mainstream media, the Hollywood, TV shows, all of these music, all of these things we are losing. And so then these kind of things get instituted in our culture. And it's like, by that time, it's too late. Because even though like we don't think this girl is the best influence on a bunch of young kids, this is what people are watching. And so then young kids are going to think that she's cool, or they want to be like her, or they see that she has money in a $2 million apartment. They want to be exactly like her. And so what we need to do, one thing as conservatives, like if you're a older conservative or someone who knows a lot of younger people, be a good role model for people.
Right.
Young conservatives need good role models. That's why someone like Candace Owens, myself, Amala, Charlie Kirk, people like that who are younger and like cool in a sense, you know, not just like super book smart people, but cool people that younger people can look up to are so important because we can make it so that young people actually think that it's okay. Being a conservative is good for my life. I can have a good life, be a conservative, still do the things that I want to do and be cool, and also fight back against the culture that they see every day.
Right. Like a little sneak peek of what Taylor was talking about, the video that we're going to do with Dennis is sort of highlighting the real influence that these people who are on these platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the real influence that they have. So there'll be people watching this stream right now who know exactly what I'm talking about, but there are girls on TikTok who have made so crazy amounts of money off of doing what they do on TikTok. The Charlie D'Amelios, the Dixie D'Amelios, the Addison Rays, and they get on TikTok and they do these lip syncing videos or these dancing videos, and they get millions and millions of followers. But scattered throughout that content, which seems probably meaningless to most of you, are political messages, and they are leftist signaling. Like Charlie D'Amelio, we were looking through her TikTok the other day. She makes all these little dance videos that are cutesy and a lot of them very sexual, and she gets millions and millions of views off of that. But every now and then she'll post something supporting Black Lives Matter or supporting the left. And that is what kids are being influenced by. They see these girls, of which inspire them to do their little dance videos, and they like the singing content and blah, blah, blah. But scattered throughout that is leftist messaging, which does subliminally infiltrate the mind.
Yeah, I talked to one parent a little while ago. I was speaking at an event, and a parent came up to me because in my talk that I gave, it was a speech I gave, I was talking about the bad culture on TikTok and some of that stuff. And again, Amala and I sound like complete boomers right now talking about this, about, you know, social media bad for your kids, get them away from it, right?
It's true.
But it's so true. And it's like, I was talking about, and this teacher or this parent came up to me afterwards, and they're like, I had no idea TikTok had these kind of things. I thought it was just cool dancing videos, and I would put my daughter in front of it on her iPad and just let her watch it. You know, she was like, I don't know, 8 years old or something.
Sure.
And so they don't know. So we are here to be your guides of social media culture.
Yeah,
like
to
Gandalf.
let you in. Because with this sort of influence that influencers have, there is this expectation that when something political or sociological happens within the world, they're supposed to have an opinion on that. And because the left dominates everything, the opinions tend to be left-leaning. So not only are these kids seeing these sexualized videos on TikTok, grooming them into doing things of which they should not be doing at their ages, but they are also getting messaged politically.
Yeah, it's not even an opinion that these influencers need to have. It's more of just like a stance.
Right.
It's like you have to take this stance
Exactly.
or you're not supporting us.
Sure.
You're not supporting Black Lives Matter if you don't take this stance. They don't have any original opinions. It's not an original thought. They're being told what to say by their agents or other people on the platforms, whatever it might be.
Right.
It's not an opinion. It's just, this is what you're supposed to say.
I
Don't
know.
say it.
And I don't know about you, but I don't want my kids getting their political opinions from 17-year-old TikTok dancers. That's
I don't
not what I
either.
want.
Unless they want to be a dancer. But
Then that's okay.
I hope my kid doesn't want to be a dancer. Equestrian. That's what they will be doing.
That's what they'll be doing. Fencing.
Fencing. Yes, fencing. He's going to be a fencing equestrian water polo star.
It's very niche.
Sounds like someone who's going to get stuffed in a locker.
No, he won't fit in the locker. He'll be so buff from playing all three of these sports. All right? I'm 5'9", and I couldn't even be stuffed in the locker because I'm so wide. All right, next story, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first story. To next story. This is from Campus Reform. Great organization. When I was in college, I actually used to write for Campus Reform. I wonder if you could still find my old articles on here. I don't know. Anyway, researchers want Americans to eat 90% less beef, conform with Paris Agreement. A University of Michigan study advocated drastic reduction in meat consumption to help the administration meet the Paris Agreement goals. The scholars promote plant-based alternatives in America's diets. Amala, have you ever had a Beyond Burger or an Impossible Burger?
So I actually have. There's this place called Monty's here in Los Angeles, and I was taken there to have a vegan burger. It was disgusting.
Wait, was it like a vegan burger or was it like the Impossible Burger?
It was the Beyond Burger, but Monty's makes them in their own special whatever way.
Okay.
You say you were taken there like it was like someone kidnapped you.
It was
and,
nearly
like,
against my will. It was nearly. I will say, I.
Wait, why did you eat that?
Was this just a really bad date, or was
this was not? My roommate was like, "Monty's is great. I want you to try it. They do vegan milkshakes. They do vegan burgers." And I was like, "You know what? I think that's disgusting, but for you, I will try it." And I tried it. And it was so gross.
Listen, you can take away my guns. You can take away my speech, but when you take away my beef. Then we have a real problem.
Then we have beef.
Yeah, then we have beef. All right? I'll be bringing the beef right back to you.
Time.
It's a dad joke.
The easiest dad joke.
I love beef. I went vegan for 7 days. I made it 5 days. And I had one of the Impossible Burgers. It's horrible.
Really?
It's horrible to eat. It's not even, honestly, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't taste horrible. But just knowing that it's not beef makes it horrible.
Oh, I think it tastes horrible. I'll be honest. I was vegan for a quite a long stint in my life as well.
Really?
Yeah, funny enough, when I was on the left, of course, I went vegetarian, then I went vegan, and I lasted quite a bit.
How long?
I would say a little less than a year. Less than a year. Yeah.
I could never do that.
It was for virtue. It was all for virtue signaling.
Wow, you're such a good person, Amala.
I know.
You're so much better of a person than I am for
Thank
me
you.
eating my beef.
I gave myself my pat on the back, but now I'm back.
The study, good. I hope you only eat meat now.
I'm carnivore diet from here on out.
I don't eat a whole lot of vegetables. Honestly, the pirate thing was kind of good at the beginning because I'll probably get scurvy. The study published by University of Michigan researchers Martin Heller, Gregory Cohen, lists ways in which the United States can conform with the Paris Agreement's emission targets. In particular, the study notes they're replacing 50% of all animal-based foods with plant-based alternatives in combination with replacing 90% of beef would cut American carbon dioxide emissions annually by 2,408 million metric tons. Let's talk about something that no one wants to talk about. Carbon emissions are about to peak in the U.S. They've already peaked in many places in Europe. Carbon emissions are not the problem that we should be worried about. Climate change is not the problem that we should be worried about. There are other environmental issues that are a much bigger detriment to our planet. Again, I say these kind of things. Some conservatives say I sound like a hippie. I'm not a hippie. There are real things that we need to focus on.
You do look like a hippie in that shirt today.
That's the point. That's the idea. Endangered species. I mean, we are driving tons of species to extinction. Deforestation is a big problem. Pollution is a problem in a lot of places as well. But climate change, that the world is going to change temperature, is of little to no importance.
Right.
It is something that is not happening the way that the world leaders want you to think that it was happening. Again, talking about the Al Gore thing, if it was happening that way, then you wouldn't see Al Gore moving to beachfront property, right? So it's all a way to control you. I mean, these things. Don't stop eating beef, okay? Don't stop eating beef because some university study tells you not to. Who's funding this study? What do they gain by doing it? Don't stop eating beef no matter what. I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat a lot more beef tonight. I'm going to have 3 steaks.
There is a major push for it. You got to admit, and I'm seeing it more and more as the days go by. I mean, we're seeing it here with this study being, I'm sure, paid for by the climate change activists. And then also Bill Gates putting out that we need to start moving towards, plant-based dieting here in our country. And then Epicurious, the big food magazine, saying that they will no longer feature beef in any of their publications due to environmental sustainability issues.
That's horrible. I love watching the Epicurious YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'm a big cook.
Now you got to take them off.
I know. Now I got to take them off.
Now you got to stop.
But if you really wanted to cut carbon emissions, you know what you should do? You should switch to nuclear energy. It's so easy.
Right.
Just switch to nuclear energy. All of the nuclear waste that we've produced in America right now, you want to know how big it is? Like, look at all the waste from the windmills. I mean, breaking down those wind turbines, it takes so much energy. Looking at the solar panels, it takes so much energy to take these down. To get the solar panels, first of all, you have to mine precious metals, which takes fossil fuels. But if you really wanted to switch this or change this, invest in nuclear energy. The amount of waste that we have accumulated from nuclear energy of all time in America is about the size of a football field stacked about 500 feet high. That is not very large at all. People are so worried about the waste and everything. And then people talk about Chernobyl and like, oh, we're going to have a Chernobyl here. That was human error that caused something like that, okay? It is not because of nuclear energy. You can have nuclear energy, have it be a reliable energy source that is cheaper for people, find new technologies to make it even better, even more efficient, but people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to talk about that at all.
But what they want to do is place these crazy regulations on American businesses when really no other country, or at least the countries that are important like India and China, are not conforming by any means to any sort of environmental sustainability standard. And what happens with this whole climate change argument, if you are truly a climate change activist and you want to see change, you want to see progress, the way that we progress here in this nation is through actual businesses being allowed to progress, being allowed to invent things, being allowed to do their work. And the exorbitant amount of regulations that climate change activists are pushing on American businesses is going to stint that progress like nothing else.
But the business stuff is stuff that we've already done. Like look at some place like Florida. Like people talk about hurricanes and natural disasters are getting worse because look at the amount of money it cost us to fix ourselves after this last hurricane. It's like, you know why it took more money now than it took in like 1915 when a hurricane hit? Because we have so many more buildings now. So the infrastructure cost to fix these things after a hurricane hits is just way more because we have more buildings. It's not that the hurricanes are getting worse. It's not that we're having worse natural disasters. Things are actually about the same. The only thing that you can really say is that we're actually having less fires in throughout the world right now, which actually isn't a great thing because fires can clear debris and then new stuff can come up, and it's actually good for the world. So that's up for debate. But regardless, the natural disasters getting worse is another thing that the left wants to tell you is happening, and that people are going to be underwater. Like in Norway, they live in under 80%. They live under sea level in Norway already, in places there, and they've made it work, right? You can totally do. You think that just like the sea levels are going to start rising and people are just going to start drowning, like it's going to happen like a giant tsunami. This isn't how this works. People are amazing at adapting to the climate. It doesn't make much sense.
They make these arguments with their science, many of which is really unfounded in fact and based on predictions of which have never come true here in America. And they stint American progress. That is all that they're doing, is slowing the progress of which we can adapt to our environment. And it's horrible. It's horrible.
Even the IPCCO, which is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Research, it was funded by the UN. Even them, these leftists basically said that there is no threat of an apocalyptic end of the world scenario when it comes to climate change, right? But the leftists don't want to look at that. The leftists, who are the martyrs for climate change, continue to profess that it's the end of the world and it's going to be so bad. But don't believe them. Eat meat. Actually, go to the store, eat more meat. I'm giving you guys a challenge. Go to the store, buy some beef, and eat it.
Yes, exactly.
And more of it, okay? Get more. Buy it for your friends. Freeze it. Do whatever you got to do. Go make some cows fart, all right? It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
God, it just sounds so ridiculous. I cannot believe it.
I know. If you really want to help the environment, find out how you can help endangered species across the world. That is a genuine thing you can do to help the world in terms of an environmental standpoint.
Valid.
That's what I was going to do before I actually got into politics. I was working with large animals, going to be a veterinarian, and also zoologist, stuff like that. That was my life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm actually very concerned about large animal, like wild species and stuff like that. So a little fun fact for you guys about
The more you
know. I know. I went to the zoo with this girl a little while ago, and I could tell her facts about every single animal.
That's awesome.
I was like a walking encyclopedia going through the zoo. I know a lot about animals. Do you know that hyenas live in a patriarchy or a matriarchy?
Did I know that? I feel like I might have learned that from like Lion King or something, but no.
It's not in Lion King, but you might know it. I don't know.
Rack my brain.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Another dad joke.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
All right, now we're going to move on to the state flags quiz. Okay?
Oh, gosh.
Taylor, will you introduce this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quiz about state flags, so it's pretty...
Wow, Taylor,
no,
thank you for that.
I was watching this YouTube video the other day that was talking about the origin of all the names of every state, and it was like fascinating. They were showing the state flags as they talked about each state, and I was like, I don't recognize like any of these flags, or very few of them. I was very surprised by how many cool looking flags there were that I had never seen before. So I thought it'd be fun if we did a little segment where you guys try to guess what state these flags are.
Yeah, let me go ahead and preface this with I am going to do horribly. Like if I get 1 point on this, I will be absolutely amazed. I don't think it's going to happen. I have only ever been to Florida, New York, and California, and I've done no traveling of the U.S. That will be coming, I'm sure, with this job. But I have no recollection of any state flags. Was never taught any of that, so I'm assuming I'm going to do horrible. What about you, Will?
Oh, I'm going to kill it. I'm a win.
You're gonna
Hell
win.
yeah, let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay, let's start.
All right. Taylor said that he knows what each flag is. So.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh, easy.
You know this one?
Make a guess.
That's the Liberty Torch, but which would make me say New York, but I don't know. No clue.
Wow,
what is
I can't
it?
believe you don't know that one.
I don't know.
It's obviously Vermont. What is it?
I need a like a wrong answer button. on this one.
I need to like.
What,
do we have
what
a
is
pen?
it? And you guys play in the comments too. If you're watching, play in
Yes,
the comments
play
and
in
let
the
us know what
comments.
each
In
one
the
was.
comments. Yep. Okay, I see Corb got it right. CORB on YouTube.
What is it?
We got to move through these a little quicker.
It is
Yes.
Indiana.
Okay.
Oh,
I would have never guessed that.
I got you, huh?
Isn't that
on
a cool looking
Vermont.
flag though?
Got me.
Yeah, I got
I
you.
thought you had
They have
it.
It is a
dope
cool
flag.
looking flag.
It's very cool.
Oh, I know this one.
Arizona.
Alabama.
Okay.
Yep, it's Alabama.
Oh,
Ooh, roll Tide, baby.
good for you. I have no
Roll
clue.
Tide.
Roll Tide.
I'm gonna forget what we already guessed. Okay.
Oh,
You guys, I hope you know this one.
Indians.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I'm thinking something that has. I'm gonna say Arizona again because they have a lot of reservations in Arizona.
Will was right.
Oh,
It's Oklahoma. That's like one of my home states.
Yeah.
So
I'm 2 for 3, baby.
I told you
Let's
I'm-
go.
I set myself up for 0 on this, so I'll be
suck at
happy.
this,
I'll be
Amala.
happy if I get 1. I know.
Freedom, deers, and unity.
Very evergreen, mountainous.
This
Okay,
one,
that's
I'm
a
gonna
key.
go with Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I'm gonna go with Washington.
Washington and Wisconsin. No, there's green and there's mountain. I hope I remember this right. This is Vermont, I think.
Oh,
That's the one I said at the beginning.
which makes,
Stupid idiot.
was it
Yeah,
Vermont?
yeah, that's Vermont.
Okay.
And by the way, the name Vermont means green mountain, Vermont.
Oh, Vermont.
In Latin?
So, French.
French. French.
Vermont.
Okay. Horse.
This one's got a little Santa hat. Horse.
They look almost Grecian.
Yeah. Probably an old
I have
one.
absolutely New Hampshire.
Delaware.
This one, I actually forgot which one this is.
Taylor, you're not
Someone
a very
help us
good
out in the
judge at this game. Who knows what this flag is?
It's in the
comments?
Northeast. I remember that.
Okay, so we
What
were
did I say?
somewhat
I
right.
said Delaware, and you
I said New Hampshire.
Okay. I don't
Okay.
think it's New
We
Hampshire.
need help out in the comments here.
Okay, hold on. I can't look it up because I don't know what it.
That's true. You
I
wanna cheat.
can't.
Taylor, how
Not
did you?
Connecticut. It's New Jersey.
It's
Oh.
New Jersey. It's the Joysians.
Hey, I should have known my own flag, huh?
Okay.
Why didn't my flag have any spaghetti on it? Pelican State.
It's making me think like oceanous
I'm gonna
northeast.
say Maine.
I was gonna say Maine.
You can say
Wow,
Maine.
guys.
You can say it too.
Rhode Island.
Double fail.
What is
This is Louisiana. Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana has
Louisiana.
pelicans?
Yes, they have tons of pelicans.
And they are.
I went to
Gulf
LSU
side.
for those watching and was in Louisiana for 6 years, so that's one of my home
Nice.
states.
Okay.
Virginia.
I'm thinking old.
It's got 2 white guys on it. So
North
racist.
Dakota. That was
Where did
not-
that come from, Amala?
I just
complete
That was
wild
complete
guess.
wild guess.
Well,
I'm like, what's a state that nobody thinks about? And it's North Dakota. Sorry for all the North Dakotians who are watching this.
yeah, we just heard a
Dakotans.
lot of North Dakotians feelings.
Dakotians.
What is it?
This is Kentucky.
Kentucky. Oh, my mom's gonna be mad.
Okay, this is the coolest state flag there is.
What
Isn't
is
that
this?
awesome? This
I
is
thought-
actually a state flag.
I thought this one would have been like Louisiana. I don't know.
fam. Like, can you believe this is actually like a U.S. state flag?
Yeah,
I
it's
had
cool.
no idea.
Can't believe
I
it.
didn't know that either.
New Mexico.
No, it's not New Mexico.
I know it's not New Mexico, but
New Mexico.
Amala's
is
just like mailed it in at this point. She's just like picking random
I
states
know
out
I'm
of
not
a hat.
gonna win.
I'm gonna say
Come on,
Mississippi.
Will. Okay. What is it?
It is Maryland.
Oh,
Maryland.
Maryland.
It does look very, very
British.
English.
Very proper.
Very proper.
Give us your Keira Knightley.
Tuber.
Proper.
What is tuber?
Okay, this one's Washington.
Okay, well, if he already knows it.
No, well, give me another
South Dakota.
guess. Didn't you already guess South
I guess
Dakota?
North
North
Dakota.
Is this your strategy now? You're just going to keep guessing South Dakota for everyone and hopefully nail it eventually.
One of them will be right.
There's only 10 of these, by the way, so you don't have to like blaze through them.
Oh, okay.
But no, this is Michigan.
I thought that was Bigfoot on there.
You see how bad you guys are doing? This is my point.
I thought that was
knows
Bigfoot.
These things.
Well, it's not.
You thought it was Bigfoot.
Yeah, doesn't that look like Bigfoot?
No, there is a hint in this one. If you look, see it says C. Aquarius Peninsulum. It's like the state of Michigan is kind of a peninsula.
Well,
that's not helpful at all.
It's not helpful at all.
Maybe not to you, non-language inclined people.
Yeah.
Not to you,
but for
idiots.
we polyglots.
Yeah.
For we polyglots.
Us polyglots.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's
it?
the last one.
Yeah.
See, I told you we didn't have to blaze.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was going to be 50.
I'm not going to do all 50.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but you didn't.
We can do round 2 next time.
Next time. That was too easy.
It was
easy.
How many did
you even get right?
No.
You got 2 or 3 right. You got 2 right, actually. So what do you mean
2
easy?
out of 10? I mean, I know your
It's better
GPA
than
was like
Amala.
a 2, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, my GPA was a 2 out of 10. Too. Good job. Here, take it off of me real quick. Yeah. Or I mean, so no computer.
Oh, it hasn't been the computer for a
It
while.
hasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I just got to make sure.
Why, you don't trust me that I'm like...
No, I do trust you, Taylor.
I trust Taylor with my life.
I trust him with more than that.
That's a lot of trust. I don't know if I want that much trust.
I trust you with my Pizza
we
Hut
need to do
rewards
this.
password.
Before we went on air, we decided to do the pirate accents.
Yes.
How do you pronounce the last word, in Pirates of the what? How do you pronounce it? Finish it.
I say Pirates of the Caribbean, but when I'm referring to the Caribbean outside of that movie title, I call it the Caribbean.
Will, same?
Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's like, I'm not like other boys.
I'm not like most boys. I wore Vans to prom.
Will's been saying that from a very young age.
Yes.
I'm not like other boys, Mom.
It's not just a phase.
Taylor, you do the same thing. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no, it's the
Right,
correct answer is Caribbean, unless you're talking about the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. And then, no one ever says Pirates of the Caribbean. That just sounds wrong.
It does sound wrong.
Yeah.
It does sound wrong.
But why does it sound wrong?
Exactly. Isn't that weird?
Disney marketing. They're very good.
They're brainwashing us. The left is changing our language.
Change the words, change the culture.
It's
control
the
the words,
Mandela.
control the culture. That's exactly right.
It's the Mandela effect,
Mm-hmm.
Explain the Mandela effect for those. Pretend like I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, it's like things that you used to see within your childhood or throughout your life, and suddenly you see them again, and something slightly is changed, and you go back to look at what it was when you were a child, and it's the same. You just don't realize, you don't. It's like cognitive dissonance almost.
It's like everyone thinking that the Monopoly man has a monocle on,
right?
And he doesn't have a monocle,
and
on.
he doesn't.
It's wild.
Wait, he doesn't have a monocle?
No, I swear he doesn't have a monocle, but everyone thought that he did, and then people were asked to draw him.
My whole life is a lie.
Right? You have this perception in your head, and then you see it again, and it's not there.
Yeah,
it's so weird, but everybody has it.
Yeah. What is another example of
that? The Bernstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears?
Oh, right.
I forget. I think it was the spelling
They're
of
not
their
actually
name.
bears.
They're gay.
Yeah, is it like people think it's Berenstein, but it's Bernstein or something like
Yes,
that?
it's exactly
Yeah.
that. People thought it was the Berenstein Bears, but it's actually the Bernstein Bears.
Wild.
It's just
My
weird.
mind is Nelson Mandela right now.
There's a bunch of other ones. We should do an episode. Maybe next Friday we'll do a bunch of Mandela effects.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
And see
Every
which ones
Friday,
you
by the
thought.
way, you guys, if you're wondering why we're not so serious on Fridays, every Friday is supposed to be a fun stream where we just talk about random stuff. And next week we'll do Mandela effects.
Well, it's
I feel like
important.
you're underselling the Friday thing.
Yeah,
now.
why are
People
you
gonna be
underselling
We're just going
so
to talk
much?
about random stuff. Don't even bother.
Yeah,
tuning
you don't
in.
need to watch this
We're
one.
going
It's
to
pretty
prepare
dumb.
good content for you.
Yeah.
We're going to you guys had some great opinions today. It was-
it's the Friday fun stream.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just a little more laid
We
back.
have more to talk about,
I
don't
wore
we?
a fun
Fun shirt.
Friday shirt.
Do
We
not
usually do
have
foreign
more?
food.
I accidentally.
What about the
exited.
donut thing? Today's National Donut Day.
Oh yeah.
Will lost his
Will
computer.
lost his spot. We're going to worry
Our
about
very
this.
tech savvy Gen Z influencers. don't know
Sorry,
how to
but
use
we
a
can't
computer
say
right now.
that Amala was on Dave Rubin's show today.
Oh yeah.
I was on Dave Rubin. I'm trying to pull it up for you guys so you can see a little clip of this from today. I got the chance to be on Dave Rubin in the past.
For the
I
second
was.
time, yeah,
This is
this
my
is-
second time being on Dave Rubin's Friday Roundtable. We talked a bunch of different stories. The Fauci emails that got leaked. We talked about a certain politician saying that black people cannot get accountants or lawyers. And we talked about the recent attack on Andy Ngo. So it was fun. I was on there with Steve Deese.
I'm
Sorry, there's an ad.
Oh, okay.
Did you say your name right this
reviewing
time?
my
So, no.
Even though they called before.
Wait, that's another example of the Mandela thing, like we talked about. Like, for whatever reason in his brain, it's like, I don't know if it's the Kamala or Kamala. He calls you Amala.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've gotten it my entire life. So my entire life, I would go and tell people, my name is Amala. My name is Amala. Think of the word omelet, and you'll be able to pronounce my name. And every single person calls me Amala, Amala.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. And it just happened. So I just let it slide at this point. But Dave.
And to his credit, like he tried and like asked ahead of time, said it right, and then just on the show kind of forgot, which I sympathize with because it's hard to like remember those details.
Which is why I like barely correct people because I know I correct them and then they still say it wrong. And it's like, okay, I'm fine. It doesn't offend me.
You got to correct them.
It's not an easy name.
I'm a big corrector.
I'm not a big corrector at all. I'm like, as long as you know who I am and you can recognize me, it's okay.
They are assaulting you. That words are violence. And you need to be triggered.
You understand that he's white, misrepresenting your black name.
Exactly. It's white supremacy that he doesn't pronounce your name correctly.
Exactly.
Oh
it's part of the privileges that he has that you don't.
I'm getting blue pilled right now.
Yeah.
I'm leaving
Take
this.
Almost going to walk off the set and just, go back to working for the left.
Go back to BLM.
Yeah, shave your head.
But here's a little clip from the show. We're talking about, that certain politician who said that black people cannot find accountants or lawyers. So we'll show that for you. True.
Okay, I want to state for the record, I don't see color, Dave. Thank you. Go ahead.
Steve, you are definitely not black. I mean, I can see that.
Yes. Olive. I am Olive. Yes.
Yeah, so, Amala, do you have a lawyer or an accountant? And if not, do you need help finding one? We live kind of close. I can get you my guys.
I do not currently have a lawyer or an accountant, but if I needed one, I'm sure that I could use my faculties to get one for myself.
Seriously, though, when you hear a statement like that, like, what does that make you feel, make you think? Like that is racism, man. That is racism.
It is on its very face, it's racism, and it's a big part of what made me leave the left. Like you said, the soft bigotry of low expectations. So now we can add to the list that black people can't get lawyers, they can't get accountants, they can't get voter ID, they can't get into college without help from anybody. They need their businesses elevated on platforms like YouTube and Netflix and Uber Eats. It's just they expect so little of us because we are the victims of American society, apparently.
Jack, I mean...
Guys, make sure that you check out our full segment. I don't know if Taylor's going to drop the links or what.
It's in the description.
It's in the description.
Perfect.
Link is in the description to watch Amala's full segment. She did a very good job. We are all very proud of her.
Thank you, Will.
At PragerU.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, good job. Fridays we're nice to Amala.
On Fridays we're nice to Amala.
Only on Fridays, though. Yeah. Tomorrow we're going back to being
tomorrow we're
jerks to
hating on Amala.
Yeah, when the stream ends, I go back to the back of the bus.
She has to drink at a different water fountain.
Yeah. Separate but equal.
Separate but equal.
I lost the donut thing.
Okay, well, what about... well, today's National Donut Day. Will, what's your favorite donut?
Not eating it.
Gosh.
Are you anti-donut person?
I don't really like donuts that much, to be honest. It's too sugary for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really like donuts that much either, but if I was going to choose it, you guys are probably not going to like this answer. I go very classic, either a vanilla cake donut or a glazed.
Boring. That's a very vanilla choice.
Snoozeville.
It's better than Will's answer, which is just to ruin it like he usually does.
You really must be white.
If that's the type of donut you like. What type of donut do you like, Taylor?
I like, when Minnesota, where I'm like originally from, we call them maple long johns, but I order that out here and people look at me like I'm an idiot. And I learned it's called a maple bar in California. It's like the long donut, not the one with filling. But
never heard of her.
You don't know what a maple bar is?
Never met her.
Help me out in the comments.
Hardly know her.
Maple long john? Hardly know her.
Anyway, it's the
my favorite.
donut.
My favorite is jelly donut, actually.
Oh, that's a good choice.
I like if you guys.
That is not a good choice. That's gross.
What do you mean it's gross?
I don't want stuff oozing out of my donut. That's just nuts.
I love stuff oozing out of my donut.
Oh, God.
The more oozing, the better.
That is horrible.
Right. Don't we have an audience question today?
Yes, we do.
Someone asked Tanya Ross. We took it on Instagram, on Amala's Instagram. We asked you guys to submit some questions. We'll do a few. Yeah. One of the ones that I specifically picked out was, I believe her name was Tanya Ross. So if you're watching, what up, Tanya? But she asked what our favorite part of our job is. Taylor, let's start with you. What is your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is working with you guys.
Shut up.
And you guys are great, subservient little people that I tell what to do all the time. No, I'm just kidding. It's really fun working with you guys. And, you guys are talented and it's an honor. So.
But is that your favorite part?
Of working here? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's a good answer. Thanks, Taylor.
I'm gonna cry.
Appreciate it. That's my least favorite part. So,
what's your favorite part, Will?
Probably going home every day. No, I'm just kidding. I love my job. My favorite part of my job is speaking. When I get to go up on stage or a rally or wherever it might be and speak to people in the flesh, I love that. And I think having COVID shut that down was not fun at all. So being able to have things open again and me going around and speaking, and my book tour coming up this fall, going around to 20 cities in 3 weeks and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love speaking to all you guys. And then I get to meet all of you guys in person too, where I get to talk to you and you can answer questions. We take pictures. I mean, it's great. It's awesome.
Speaking makes me nervous.
Yeah, you'll get there. I used to be very nervous.
Amala's always like, oh, I'm so nervous to go on Dave Rubin. Oh, I'm so nervous to do this interview. And then she just freaking crushes it every time. And then
you guys are too nice. You're fine. No, I'm so nervous. You'll see me I'm so tense behind the camera. You probably can't tell because I play it off, but I'm so nervous.
I know. There's sweat dripping on the floor. Before every stream we do.
Like that Key and Peele gif where there's just sweat.
Exactly.
The streams I've gotten much better because I'm comfortable with you guys, but when it's people that I don't know or a speaking engagement or something like that, it makes me so nervous.
No, I used to get really nervous speaking too.
Right, and so now you're not.
It's fine.
You crush it.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the job is definitely the people here that work at PragerU. If I wasn't around the people that I'm around, this is honestly like a small family. We all know each other. We're all really present in each other's lives. So that's great. And also, I'm just passionate about what I do. I think we're doing something that's important here. And when you're doing something that's important that you love, again, it's a cheesy thing to say, but work does not feel like work. You go in every single day and you are ready to face whatever's, at your feet.
When you hear your family.
When you hear use family.
Come on down to PragerU. We have a good family here for you.
Okay, here's one that you can hit out of the park, Will. How can a former left-winger find new friends after being red-pilled? Does PragerU have a program for that?
Well, first thing to do is buy my book.
Oh my gosh.
That's number one.
How do you get friends from buying your book?
Well, my book is called How to Win Friends. So How to Win Friends and Influence Enemies. So you guys can check it out. Go on my Instagram and check it out. You can see the cover behind Taylor right now. Go to my Instagram, check out my book. Pre-orders open now. Anyway, but also join PragerForce. PragerForce is our student program for PragerU. I was a part of PragerForce to start out. Amala was a part of PragerForce. And sometimes we don't get to always talk about, how great PragerForce is, but it truly is. We're about 15,000 students strong now all over the world. Kids from Venezuela and Africa and all sorts of remote places who are part of this digital community. And you get chances to meet with Amala, chances to meet with me, Dennis, Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin. I mean, all of just the best people coming in and doing workshops to help you guys learn how to be the best conservatives, the best Americans, or just people living with good morals in the world possible. So that's what we do. And there's tons of networking experiences that you guys can get. There are business insights you guys can get, all sorts of different stuff, and also ways for you to get involved with PragerU to help grow your own audience and grow your own following and reach more people. Skills on all of that. Yeah. So it truly is a program like nothing else for conservative young people in this country, anywhere from middle school to young professionals is who we accept. So if you want to be a part of PragerForce, do a lot more, take your activism to the next level, or just take your conservative values to the next level, join PragerForce, and make sure you're telling your friends. If you're already in PragerForce and you're watching this, say this before, tell your friends to join PragerForce. Get them to do it too. Have everyone be in it. But Taylor's going to drop some links. You can also text the word PragerForce, which is one word, to 64600. Once again, that's PragerForce to 64600.
Right, and you will make friends through the program too. And we're actually doing, I believe, next weekend on Saturday, PragerForce is getting together. If you're in the Southern California area, they're doing a Newport Beach meetup. So if you want to sign up for PragerForce and possibly attend that meetup, you can do that throughout this week. And you will be able to go there and meet young conservatives just like you, which I know is a tough thing to do, but we're trying to do the work behind the scenes to get you there. Next question from Jackson in real life. Do you believe that America is a Christian nation?
Is Jackson in real life?
His name is Jackson in real life.
Cool.
Not in fake life.
Not in fake life. Not in the leftist world.
He's in
this
real
is
life.
Real life.
Yeah, and he wants to know, do you believe that America is a Christian nation?
Yes, I do. Even though we have a separation of church and state, I think the founding fathers intended people to have that Christian morality about them. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you look at the founding documents, and all of your rights that you have in America are endowed on you by your creator. Right? Just because they have a separation of church and state doesn't mean that they didn't want people to have these same morals. I mean, these founding fathers were Christian people who believed in these type of things, whether or not they were the most devout Christians and stuff like that, up for debate, a lot of different historical accounts of that. But regardless, looking at the founding documents, looking at the things that the founding fathers said, this is what they wanted for our country. They knew this, and people came from England and other places across Europe and across the world even later to have religious freedom, to get away from religious persecution that they felt, right? And so they wanted to have their own Christianity here. I truly think America is a Christian nation. Now, Christianity has a big hat. You can have a lot of different people from all sorts of different sects of Christianity, evangelicals, Presbyterians, Baptists, I mean, all sorts of different people, Catholics. It's not the exact same as Christianity, but, you know, when I'm talking about what's it called, Taylor? The faiths that are based on, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Denominations?
No, I'm looking for something else. Anyway, Judaism.
Semitic?
I can't remember the word. Maybe someone in the comments knows the word. Anyway, but those kind of faiths that are all coming together to make America what it is, I think that it is a truly important thing. And I think that, yes, America is a Christian nation.
Yeah, I think so too. And what I always share on the stream and I share in my personal accounts is that I'm an agnostic, but currently exploring Christianity. And big shout out to one of our followers here called Joan Zacher, who sent me a chronological study Bible. So nice, so beautiful. And she sent me this really nice note alongside with that. So I have been reading through that. But I think what the important part is in our founding and why we are endowed by our Creator with our rights is that we are not controlled by the government. The government is meant to support us. It is meant to serve us as people. The government was made for us, and the government cannot take away your rights as they are endowed by your Creator. And that is why through American governance, why it is so closely linked to Christianity and to God, because you want your rights to be endowed by your Creator, not by some bureaucrat. And right now we're seeing a major infringement on our rights as the American people. And that's something to always remember, is that they are endowed by our Creator.
Because then the government could take it away.
Right.
That means that if someone can give it to you, they can take it away just as easily.
Exactly.
So having that framework in our Constitution, I mean, is different than any other country in the entire world.
And unfortunately, America and our citizens are becoming far more secular than I would like them to be. And with that comes a deterioration of culture, which I'm sure you guys are all experiencing and seeing right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Aye, matey.
Do you guys want to take any more questions, or where are we at for today?
I think I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Unless you want to do any more. I'm good.
Taylor? Okay. Well, I hope you guys like the stream.
That's such a lame ending. Let's do one more question.
All right,
more
fine.
question?
We're going to do one more question.
Okay.
You guys will
Then you
kill
make
it.
me look like the bad guy.
No, you're not the bad guy.
I said it was okay.
Let's see. Some of these are not the most appropriate. Let's go through them and see what we can find.
Let's answer those ones, Amala.
Why is it wrong for people to be pro-life for themselves and pro-choice for others? It's an easy, you can hit this one out of the park.
Wow. Sounds like you don't know the answer.
Oh, no. I
know.
I have a very strong
Go for
answer
it.
to this
Then
one.
you just started.
Okay. I think I said this on the stream actually previously this
That
week.
was a couple days ago.
You cannot be pro-life for yourself and pro-choice for others. At its very foundation, that is not something that is possible. For one, if you are pro-life for yourself, why is it that you're pro-life for yourself? It is because innately you know that killing an unborn child is wrong, that aborting a child is wrong. And if you do not wish that for yourself, it is something that you could morally never do, it is because you find it morally reprehensible. And if that is the case, why would you wish that upon other people? If that is a damage to yourself and to your child that you could never wish upon yourself, why do you wish it upon others? And that is why you cannot be pro-life for yourself and pro-choice for the other people in your society.
You know, I'm against myself being murdered.
Right.
But I'm fine with murdering other people.
Exactly. That's the argument that you're making.
Essentially, that is exactly what you're saying.
Right.
You have to be consistent on all platforms. And if you're saying that this is a human life issue, which it is a human life that is inside the womb, you're saying that as a human life, and you are against abortion for yourself because you recognize it as a human life, then you have to hold that same standard. When you have, if you have this kind of moral subjectiveness that people like to throw around when it comes to abortion, and you can't have that. Morals are objective. Right? It's an objective truth that these kind of things are moral versus immoral. Murdering a child is an immoral thing. Or immoral. Sorry, not immoral. Singing at the e-girls. Immoral thing. So you have to have this morality that is objective and then apply that same standard to every single thing when it comes to this argument.
Yep. Couldn't say it any better than that. You can't be pro-life for yourself and pro-choice for other people. It just does not make sense. And the pro-life, pro-choice argument is not one of women's rights. It is not one of body autonomy. We've already established that. If you look at any science, that is a separate being, its own DNA, its own genetic code, its own predetermined way of how it is going to look, personality, really virtually everything. And in the majority of cases, over 99% of cases, a heartbeat. So it is not a question of bodily autonomy. It is not a question of a woman's right to abort their child. It is simply a moral issue. You think abortion is right, or you think abortion is wrong. And if you think it is wrong, you are pro-life. If you think it is right, you are pro-choice.
If you are pro-choice, you are wrong.
Yes, also that.
I want to get your reaction to this. Someone in the comments just said, you guys have moral superiority issues. What do you say to that?
What does that mean?
Like you think you're on your moral high horse. You think you're posturing with your moral superiority.
I think people like to say things like that when they feel like, this is like, again, going back to the Christianity stuff, people want to say things like that and discount other people for calling things out because they feel inept in their own ways. They feel like they are not good enough morally, so they want to drag other people down with them by saying, oh, you have this moral superiority. It's like, no, we're just kind of calling things how we see it. I mean, the things that we talk about when it comes to morality, like talking about just before, abortion, I mean, not killing a child, I don't see how that is some sort of moral superiority. That is just morally right. There shouldn't even be a debate for that, right? That has nothing to do with moral superiority or us trying to show that we are better than you. And we are in no way on this stream, I feel like never, are trying to show that we are better people than all of you guys watching. That is not the case of anything that we are doing. We are trying to educate and give you guys a clear, concise, factual view of what is happening around in the world right now, with some laughs, with a lot of opinion, of course. But the moral superiority aspect, I think, is a farce, and it's a deflection, to be honest. Honestly,
a fundamental part of being a human is developing what your values are, what your standards are, what your morals are. And if you do not have strong moral convictions, what do you have? I mean, there's this famous quote that if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And the killing of an unborn child is something that I would certainly stand up for and speak out against. And you should have strong moral convictions. If you don't have strong moral convictions, I would urge you to sit down in a room by yourself and just think about what is important to you and what is right and what is wrong, because humans without strong moral convictions, which we're seeing a lot more of right now in today's society, fall into this sort of hedonistic, nihilist, not caring what mark they leave on the world or what they do good for their society or their country, and that is problematic.
And I'll say one last thing to finish it off. I mean, living my life before, I was very immoral, like definitely did not live the best life that I wish that I did. I did a bunch of bad stuff. So now that I feel like I have a much better grasp on what morality is and the things that I really care about and what is right in the world, I want to share it with people. I mean, that is also my job, but I want to share it with all of you and say, I think this is a good way to lead the world. Or I think this is a good way the society should be ran, or people should act this way. If you don't want to listen to it, there's an exit out button. You can go sayonara, son. You don't have to watch if you think I have some moral superiority, but that's not the case. The case is, I have found this information. I have lived my life this way to the best of my ability. Of course, screw up all the time and sin and all that kind of stuff. We all do. But I am trying to share with all of you the things that I believe will make for a good world.
Also, just a side note, just on a fundamental level, if you don't believe that your morals are superior, why would you be preaching them and teaching them to people? If you don't think you actually stand for what is good and what is right, why would I be sitting in front of this camera? Of course, I think morally being pro-life is superior than being pro-choice, or otherwise I would not share that statement to you.
Right. We appreciate you guys watching today. We have to go. It'll take us a while to get off this stream because we have to get off our high horse and then get downstairs to our cars in the parking lot. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in today. If you like the stream, make sure you share with your friends. Tune in every single weekday at 5:30 p.m. EST. That's 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Follow me and Amala on social media. Remember, check out Prager Force again if you're a student, young professional around the world. And that's about it, guys.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Did I plug everything?
I think you did.
Great. We're going to be back on Monday, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.